I'm refilling again. Never any end to the refills here. I have this salt, a little bit of salt left, and the metal piece fell out, and I just hate having the salt exposed like that, so I'm going to put it in a container. But as I look at this container, I think it's too small, so I'm going to get a slightly bigger one and just keep the container closed like that. I think this container is bigger, so I'm going to put the funnel in there and just start pouring. I'll put a label on it because I'll forget what's in there. I don't know what happened to the metal thing there. It must have just popped off. I'm always afraid it's going to get wet and then it just turn into a block or whatever. I don't know what happens to salt when it gets wet. Of course, it's not coming out now. Okay. Here it is. Although now that I look at it, I probably could have fit it in that smaller jar, but it's fine here. I'm going to again label it and put it in the pantry. It's time to fill up cat food again. They are eating so much with the onset of winter. I'm going through it like crazy. So I've got the 2 containers. I'll probably do 1.5. I'm not quite sure. Dump it and see. Here's 1 container. Let's start filling the second one. I have a little left. I'll go back to the first container. There's still some room here. Oops. And there we go. This was I think a 20-pound bag. Usually I get 16 or 14 or something, but I got this at Walmart. So I'm set for a while, I think, with this larger amount. All right, my little bottle of oil here that I have by the stove is like effectively empty. There's maybe 1/8 of an inch of oil in there, so I'm going to refill it. This little bottle with the squeeze top is so convenient for having by the stove and controlling the amount of oil that goes into a pan. Nothing's worse than kind of losing control of it and suddenly you got a pan full of oil you got to clean out there. This, you squeeze it and it really goes much better. There you go. So I'm hoping the rest of these pretzels will fit in here. I got so hungry the other night I pulled these out. I got them maybe a couple months ago. They are 10 ounces, and I'm only mentioning that because I was at Dollar Tree the other day. And it looks like they're now selling the same stuff, half size of this, $1.25. So if that's the case, I am going to be buying my pretzels at Walmart because that is outrageous, $1.25 for a little pack. So let's do this. Get this in better position. There we go. Whoops. It's going everywhere. Not fit perfect. If I had known they were going to raise their prices, or not so much raise their prices, well, effectively they raised their prices by doing it half the size. I would have gotten more bags when I was last purchasing pretzels, but that's the scene for now. Fits perfectly. I'm going to be trying something new here. I have this old mayonnaise container that I cleaned out. As a mayonnaise container, it's terrible. It stores like this, and it has a little opening that you squeeze the mayonnaise out with, and it was great until it was about 80% empty. Then it was really hard to get the rest of the mayonnaise out. So I have one more container like this, and then I'm not buying it anymore. I'm buying it regular screw top. But I do like this, the whole concept of being squeezable, and I like the little opening. So I was thinking what I could use it for. I finally decided I'd pour some detergent in it, laundry detergent in it, and take it to the laundromat. I'm doing a big purge right now. Not really a purge, but when I cross over from warm weather to cold weather, I like to wash a lot of my blankets and bedding and stuff like that. Sometimes I do it in the spring, sometimes I do it in the right before the winter. It just depends what blankets I was using and what capacity, I guess. So since I'm going to the laundromat, I don't like to take this big container. It's a bit much. So if I leave it behind, then I'm really sad. So I thought I could just use this and squeeze it out. So I'm going to try. Looks like it's thin enough. It's thinner than, whoops, uh-oh, should have done this in the sink. Well, maybe that's enough right there. I'm going to wipe my sink down, my sink and counter down, and I bet it's going to be clean like never before with all the stuff that's spilled. But I am going to give this a try, and we'll see how it does at the laundromat. I'm also going to refill my spray bottle of Dawn here. I put a little bit of Dawn and the rest water, and I can spray it. It's like the Dawn Power Wash except without the price. I think in the homemade recipes I've seen for Dawn Power Wash, I think they just add some alcohol to this or some other ingredient. Maybe there's a reason for it, but this is good enough for me. I love being able to spray the inside of the entire bowl or the entire dish, and it seems to clean just fine. So I'm going to try to, and I mean try, to get this in there after what happened with the laundry detergent. I don't need a whole bunch in here. If there's too much, then it gets clogged up in the sprayer. So maybe about, I don't know, anywhere between 10 and 20%, and then the rest water. Okay, got it down. I'm going to add some water now, and here it is. Well, it's fill up time, and I'm just about out of tea. Time to put in some of my more English breakfast tea from Amazon. Let me get that. I guess there's no doing this right with the sun coming in, but I get this loose leaf tea, and it is really good. Let me get this in the center. And I just ordered some more. I don't want to run out. Some people need their cup of coffee in the morning. I need my cup of black tea. It solves all problems. Let's see where we're at. Perfect. I'm set for a while. What do you think about this cute little treasure chest? I found it up in the cabinet when I was cleaning out. It's perfect. I'm going to be doing a double fill up with this bulk hot chocolate I got at Walmart. Great values. I think it was like $4 or something. It makes a whole bunch of cups of hot chocolate. So I'm going to fill up a smaller container to have out here with all my tea, and then I'm going to fill up a larger container to keep on the pantry, because once I open this, all bets are off. I've got this rodent problem in the winter. I'm hoping I'll have less of one because I took so many steps last year, but I take no chances. So let's fill up the small one first. I used a scoop and filled up one of them. This is the one that's going to go down here, so if I want a cup of cocoa, I don't need to take out the whole thing. And I think the rest will fit in a regular quart jar. After examining my options, quart jar is too small. So I'm just going to put it in this half gallon, which will probably be too big, but it'll all fit in here. I have my big funnel here and the scoop. Scoop keeps stuff from flying all over the place. I wouldn't mind just pouring it in, but powder has a way of just going everywhere. The scoop seems to be working out. All right, not quite enough to fill up the half gallon, but I think it would have been maybe too much for the quart. Hard to say, but here we are. This is going to go in the pantry. I feel safer when things are not in cardboard, but in glass here. Here in the woods, I have many visitors from outside. Talking the four-legged variety, even though I've done everything in my power to avoid it. It just, I guess, comes with the territory of being out here. So anyway, this is going to go in the pantry. I'm going to put the directions, tape the directions to the side, and when I need to do a refill with my smaller container, I can do that. Back to filling up. I'm doing a lot of clearing out and consolidation, which is great. I have these dried fruits, and I had some dried raisins and figs in 2 containers, but I think I can fit them now into 1 container. I did a batch of oatmeal cookies and finished up some raisins, so I'm just going to try to fit these all in. I have a little bit of these currants left. These are great. They're kind of like raisins, but they seem to be tinier. I don't know what the difference is between raisins and currants, but they're really good in the oatmeal cookies. And then I have these cranberries. I got this big thing at Amazon. Either Amazon or I think Amazon. They are wonderful. I use them in trail mix, in cookies. Usually I use them in my oatmeal cookies and in all sorts of stuff. They're just delicious. Even pies. So I think if I just fold this up, oh, look at that. It fits. And here's the lid, so it's good. I go through my pantry maybe 2-3 times a year, and it's really helpful to see what I haven't used, what I have used, what I need, what I don't need. When I did a salad video a few weeks ago, I had used some red beans in my salad, and it was delicious. So as I was going through my pantry again, canned goods, I found out some black beans, so I'm going to be adding that to my salad next couple of days. Also just delicious. I had some whole walnuts, shelled walnuts in my freezer too, and I opened them up to make the oatmeal cookies. I'm really trying to just eat really things that are kind of good for me, so I haven't been buying granola bars as much and trying to make my own snacks. So I made some trail mix, and now I'm making these oatmeal cookies with they have cranberry or raisins or nuts and coconut. I actually did a recipe online with how you do that on YouTube, so I will link that. So I also, I opened up these walnuts, and now of course they won't go shut, so I think they'll fit in a quart bag. So we'll see. Maybe I'll use this. I like to put the bags in like something to kind of hold them up, so that's why I'm putting them in this Pyrex measuring cup. So I'm just going to start pouring them in. See how that goes. I like to keep my nuts in the freezer. I just think it's best practices. Oh, I got plenty of room for more. Let's put that in there. Keeps them from going bad or rancid. Okay, I think I can put the rest in. We'll see. I made some trail mix with, I actually kind of doctored up some Trader Joe's trail mix, and it was so delicious and so easy. I think I'm going to start making my own from now on in. There we go. It was just right for a quart. While I was going through the freezer, I also found these roasted salted sunflower seeds. These are delicious in salads, especially this time of year when there's less tomatoes and cucumbers and stuff like that. I know they still have them, but they're expensive, and I don't think they're as nutritious as really in season. So these are great. They give a nice crunch, and there's a little bit of good stuff in here, just like the black beans. Try to make my salads not only good, but nutritious. So I'm going to pour these in to this quart jar and just put them on my pantry shelf. And when I have a salad, I'll go and grab them. These are from Trader Joe's. And they fit just right. When I was going through that dried fruit, I also found this little package of mango. It's still in date, so what I think I'm going to do is cut this up, and next time I make trail mix, I'm going to throw it in. I made this trail mix. I doctored up the Trader Joe's mix, added pecans and almonds and other nuts I had in the freezer. So I put it in this container, which fit at one point, but as I'm eating through it, it's going down. So I'm just going to put it in this smaller container. I keep the trail mix again in the freezer. You know, sometimes I'll eat it, sometimes I won't. And this way it always stays kind of fresh. So let's get the lid on this. There we are. As I was going through my dried fruit and stuff in the freezer and nuts and all that, I decided to make some oatmeal cookies. These are great. It's a great recipe. You can add quite a bit to it. So I added some coconut was in the freezer. I added some currants that were in the dried fruit, and I added some walnuts that were in the freezer also. I'm really trying to like make my own snacks a little bit more now that I'm home and not working as much. I don't need as much fast type stuff. So these I feel are good. They're oatmeal, they're delicious. So I made some, and I'm going to actually try to fit them into this little cute little beehive type container. I think it used to have coffee in it. I don't know if they're all going to fit, but I'll fit some in. The rest I'll put in the freezer. So let's give it a shot. Just gently put them in. With oatmeal cookies, it's really important. Oops, that one's a little fragile. It's really important to let them completely cool before doing anything with them, especially if you have, like I did, lots of stuff in it, because they can break apart. That one is. So now it's cooled, and it sat on the cookie sheet a little bit. It cooled down, and now they're okay. A couple are a little fragile, but it's okay. So I think that's all I'm going to put in there for now. I'm going to put the rest in the freezer. I got several stacks of these round plastic containers at Walmart a couple weeks ago. They are great for storing stuff in the freezer because things don't get crushed. I stored the oatmeal cookie dough in here after I'd made it, and now I'm going to store the cookies in here. In my nectarine pie video, I also stored a whole pie in there. So there it is. I'm going to put it back in the freezer, and when these are done, I'll have some more. My final refill for right now is the oatmeal. I haven't eaten that much oatmeal, but I've been making a lot of mixes, and one of the mixes I like to make is oatmeal cookies. So I've made 2 rounds of it, one to store in its dry version, one to make as a dough, and I have it in the freezer. Half I have in the freezer, the other half I made. So I have quite a bit left. Well, not quite a bit, but about half of this left, and it's way too much for this jar, and it's taken up space. Space is at a premium. So I think this will be good enough. It's like a small mayonnaise jar or something like that. So I'm just going to pour it in. We'll see what happens. Let me move this over. There we go. Perfect. Check it out. Well, that's it for refills for now. Just for now. Still have plenty of things to refill. It seems like they just come as fast as I can do them. Anyway, hope all is well with you, and thank you so much for watching.